Joining us right now is Professor Tunde Adeniran, who is a former Minister of Education and a former Ambassador of Nigeria to the United States. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, Ambassador to the United States, no, to the Federal Republic of Germany.
Oh, beg your pardon, Federal Republic of Germany.
Yes.
Well, you're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
And I was just wondering, you know, just a couple of months ago, you were contending for the chairmanship position of the People's Democratic Party.
Yes.
But now you are in the SDP.
Right.
Why have you left?
Well, I left because I was a member of those who founded the People's Democratic Party. I was a founding member. And what we had in mind at that time when people came together, wonderful people, great Nigerians like Le Solomon La, Adamuchi Roma, Alese Kweme, and of course, younger generation, Jerry Ghana, and so on and so forth. At the time we came together, we were forming a party. It was designed not as a party that could be purchased by one individual or pocketed by a gang at some point. We thought at that time that there was need. People recognized what had happened to the polity, the Nigerian polity, as a result of military rule. People were conscious of what it would take to get things back on track, and they were mindful of the need to design a type of architecture that will move the politics in such a way that will raise the level of consciousness of the people and develop meaningful and genuine democracy. And so above all,
if I understand you clearly, if I'm
yes.
to take some of your words now, what you're saying, what you're alleging is that the PDP has been pocketed by a gang or by one individual or by a gang of people. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, that it has left. You see, there are certain objectives, certain basic principles. If you look at the preambles, the aims and objectives, and of course, the character and ethics, you will realize that this is not the party that we formed at that time. I happened, by the grace of God, to be the one who hosted the first meeting of the PDP in the entire Southwest. And I was the one who took it to Ekiti State. And we had some vision, and there was a vision, a mission. And if this had been aborted, and of course if this had been truncated, there is no business, staying longer in the PDP. What we have done, what I have done, as far as I'm concerned, as an individual, is to opt out on a rescue mission, a decisive step to change the ongoing narratives in Nigerian politics, so that when people who are complaining about certain things who are not getting right in the PDP, some of us were determined. Like you said, I wanted to be national chairman. Winning or not winning, that was not the issue. But if we were doing certain things wrong, and we thought that it was necessary to change those things, for goodness sake, there should be ways of taking things back to what I regard as the original motive that inspired the formation of that particular party. And of course, you now have a situation in which it's like building a house. You see this house being invaded, you are trying to put certain things right, and things continue to crumble. This house has fallen.
Some people will say that you are now acting the role of spoilers. If you didn't get your way in the PDP, because it's very difficult to imagine that you came from the lofty ideal of wanting to rebuild an opposition party, and now you have roundly abandoned it. You say it's not about winning, but that is difficult to accept, because you have left the party now to another party.
Well, basically what it is this, not the role of a spoiler. What is happening is a situation in which certain things have to be done properly. It is not about me as a person. It is about the future of this country. It is about the future of democracy, and of course the coming generation. What type of legacy are we leaving behind? I do not have to hold any position. I wanted to hold a position because so many things have gone wrong. And I felt I had the capacity and the vision. And I knew where we were coming from. And I knew what has gone wrong and what we needed to do. Of course, if it was a question of, wanting to be in a position or whatever it is, I would have left a very long time ago. I never left for one day, for 1 hour, the party, until I saw that, look, it has gone beyond redemption. I felt that whatever it is, impunity and imposition caused what we have now.
Professor, I want to come in here because we know when former President Obasanjo wrote that letter to the president, when he talked about PDP, he referenced someone, he didn't name the person, who, quote unquote, procured Supreme Court judgment. You have talked quite a bit about your experience at the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party. Can you take us through what you believe happened on that at the convention and why you believe now in relation that the party is beyond redemption, in your words?
Well, before then, I mean, there was this robust campaign, people were going around and so forth, and you would be inspired, you'd be encouraged by what was going on. And of course, the arrangements and so forth at every stage. Those of us who are vying for one position or the other, we were insisting on due process, following the guidelines to the letter and so forth. And of course, the first thing that we observed on that very day was that some of the assurances were given in terms of, okay, only the delegates will be there, the people who are not supposed to be there, they will not be there. Of course, we saw that the massive invasion, by different characters and so forth. We are not supposed to be campaigning even at that very day. But you saw so many people coming in, not just to be campaigning, but also in an aggressive manner that was threatening to some of the people who were there. Thereafter, you saw that by the time the process itself started, there were flaws. And these flaws withdrew the attention of those who are supposed to be organizing the whole thing. Those who were in charge, they were, of course, they confessed at some point that this thing was beyond them. And it was beyond them simply because it was a carefully orchestrated attempt to ensure that some group got their way, some individuals have their way, and take over the leadership of the party. I personally wouldn't have minded if, for example, we went into such a contest and it was free and fair, and there was no short-circuiting the process. And of course, the common refrain now is that, okay, there was this unity list, there was this and that. How did that so-called unity list come about? Who are the people behind it? Why was it that so many things went wrong in spite of the assurances that were given? There were at least 13 different reasons that such a convention could have been nullified if taken to court. But I wasn't going to dignify anybody or any group and that institution that I realized that had gone beyond